Hey everyone, it is Natalie from Being Intentionally Creative, and today we're going to be making an angel. It's a new mold that I've gotten over the last few weeks. Before we do that, I wanted to share with you, one of my subscribers had asked me about a ring I was wearing last week and where I had gotten it. And it's this one right here that I had on. All right, and I thought I would show it to you because I didn't buy this. I actually made this using a resin mold that I had gotten, and I said if I remember, I would get out the mold and show how it works. It's actually a very cool mold, and I don't know if any of you have it. I had really hoped to find some more of the rings that I had made because it's one of those things, right? You get a new mold, and all of a sudden you're making all kinds of the same thing. But I don't know where the other ones are, but I thought I would show you some. So this is another one that I made using beads. All right. And the interesting thing about this mold, and I'll show you some of the other rings, but I had used a different mold for them, is that you make the ring part and then you make the pieces that go on top. So I've got the mold here, molds, I should say. And as you can tell, I had some fun with pink on that second one there. I don't know what was going on with that one. But anyway, so this is the mold itself. Now you'll notice, hopefully you can see, that there's a little spot here at the top. Just a little piece here that makes a divot in the top of the ring so that you can actually put the other pieces in. So when this gets made, there's actually a hole in this round, like in the ring piece itself, that you can then put different tops on. Now, I did these and then I resined the top piece in because obviously I don't want it falling out. But I guess depending on how you made it, you could make it so they would stick in. But I haven't gotten to that sort of figuring out part of my world. I'm almost thinking if you put a magnet in, that might work. Really tiny magnets so you can use this but put different heads on it, if you will. And then so you've got different sizes. I think these start at either a 4 or a 5 and go up to probably what, a 13 or something like that. I think, no I don't. Okay. And then this part here is what makes all the different, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see them, maybe like this, has all the different tops that you can make to fit into this ring. So it's actually kind of cool from that perspective that you're not limited to like just a circle. We've got a great big round ball here, one that's got the facets on it, and this one that doesn't. We have emerald cut, oval, square. We've got a diamond. I think there's a heart in here somewhere. Have I got a heart in there? Yes, the heart's down here at the end, this end one. So if we have enough resin left over from the piece we're going to do today, we can make one of these rings just so you can, see the concept of it. I also have another ring mold, and what sort of caused me to bring out these. So I made these as well, and someone had posted on one of the other groups about the lip that comes. This ring mold I like, and the reason I like it, and you could actually use it for the other and then just fill in that rectangle piece, is that it's more open at the top here versus the other one I've got where you're trying to spread these open and get the resin in, and it becomes a bit of a mess. This one, at least, if you start pouring here, it's easier, I think, to fill this mold up than it is some of the other ring molds. And the other thing I keep hoping someone in the world's going to design is different shapes. We, I think, are limited to the ring styles that are out there. But going back to the other ring mold I have, in the lip it has, is that I actually, on this one, just took some UV resin, threw in some of the micro balls I've got, and then put it on the top. So it almost looks like it's supposed to be part of it. Okay, this isn't working well. Let me get on that finger. So you've got a bit more of a design on it, which is something you can do, or you can sand it down, or as some people have figured out how to do, you get exact right amount of resin into your ring mold, and then you go from there. And I haven't managed to do that myself yet, and I haven't played with the rings for a while, but I figured I'd been asked about it, and therefore I would, you know, share it. Now this ring here, this is one I had, and I made a silicone mold out of it. This isn't one of the better ones. I've got all kinds of air bubbles in this, which isn't helpful, but I thought I would share that with you. This is, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but this one has got the lip on it. And I'm not going to, I should have it off my finger, but it's got the lip on it, so it would need to be sanded down. I put it like that, see if that makes any difference to you. You might be able to see the lip on that, I'm not sure. But anyway, yes, something like that can be annoying, but if you can find out new and interesting ways of, you know, sanding it down or adding something to it, then you can work around that. But I have to admit, this ring mold and the little pieces that come with it are actually kind of cool when it comes right down to it, and what you can do and things you can put in. So on this one, I just had some ceramic flowers that I put into this one, and then this one was just the beads that I put in here. And again, it was just, they were random in the colors that I put in it, and then I matched up the top of it. So I thought I would share that with you. And again, I think I got this off of Amazon. It must have been Amazon, because I haven't, when I bought this, it was long before I got into Temu. The one thing you do want to be careful with this is that you don't knock it over. It's not it's a little warped as far as sitting. Now granted, I've had this sitting around for a while, so that could be part of the problem. But we'll see about making this if we have enough resin. Getting onto our angel. So it's tiny, a little tiny angel. You can't, right? You can't really see much of anything. The wings on the back, obviously. Okay. I have made up 100 ml of resin, and I made it gold, and I'm using the Let's Resin chrome powder gold, because I thought this would be nice. Hopefully. Are you catching that? I don't know. Anyway, I've got my resin all mixed up and ready to pour. And this has a lot of sort of intricacies to it. Now, again, I talk about mixed to mold or ceramic resin, and whether or not you would want to make it, I don't know. I'm a little concerned just in being able to get this out of here with resin, let alone with mixed to mold. But we'll find that out when we go to take it out and see how it stands up. Now, sometimes I put my pieces into, maybe I can do this. Hold on. I was going to say, if I have a cup. No, that's not, well, okay. I kind of want to have, do I want to have something to put that into? I'm just looking around my world and not really seeing anything. But give me a second, because I think I've got something that'll work. Because I do like putting something like that in, just so that it doesn't fall over. That's, again, one of my big things is I don't want stuff tipping over. So let me just, I've got a little container here. Dump all the other stuff out of it and see if this is wide enough. It's one of my earlier ceramic mold, mixed mold. It seems to be sitting in there. Okay, so, I mean, that way it's not going to tip over, which we don't want it to. So we'll take it out of there, and then just before we get it full, we'll put it in there so we've got it. Now this is starting to warm up a little bit, which I'm totally cool with. Get my, and it's, see, there's what we got. It's a very pretty gold. I just thought, that's an angel. Let's see how bright we can make her. I put about 2, when I say 2 scoops, so let me show you my spoon, or probably 1 full scoop of that is what I put in. And we're gonna, as Steve McDonald would say, we're gonna squidgy widgy. But I'll get this started, and let's get this going down. Hopefully we can get it in. Hopefully it's enough. I figure it's not that big of a mold. I'll be surprised if 100 mils doesn't do this. And it's had, well, how much? Maybe about 5 minutes to sit. Okay. And then we'll just move this about. So have a look-see and see if I've got any. I can't imagine. Well, there's one. Cool. I got one bubble out. Trying to do like brush mica powder into this. I can't see doing that. I can't see that working. But again, hey, you might be able to do it and have no problem. I have a silly little bubble down there. Oops. Throwing things at myself. I think I got it. I don't, you know, I'm sort of gun shy of putting any kind of spring isopropyl alcohol into my molds after my fiasco with my pear lid that I made, which I still haven't gotten done, by the way. I had bought something, but they weren't for the handle, but it wasn't the right size. All right, let's pour some more of this in. Isn't that a beautiful gold? So we'll just squidgy it a little bit more. I'm trying to, it's always hard with some of these molds to see, you know, have you got air bubbles or is it just the, you know, what do we, you know, have we got air bubbles or is it just the mold, how it looks that it's making it look like we might have some? I'm not really 100% sure sometimes what we're dealing with, and we don't really know until we get it out. And let's just press down on the head again and see. Oh. And because this is one of those thicker molds, it makes it more challenging. But I do like my angel molds, and I thought, why not? Let's make another angel. And these can be used any time of the year. They're not just for Christmas. Okay. Getting up a little bit more. We're almost to the top. We definitely won't need all of that. And we'll take a look and see how much I've actually used up. And we'll get, just before we get it up to the top, we'll squeeze it one more time, and then we'll get it set in that container so it's not sitting out here. I am very careful with my stuff once I'm done making pieces. This reminds me of honey. Just the coloring of this. And seriously, I have way too much. All right, so let's get you in here. Very carefully. Want to make sure it's as straight as it can be, right? So let me just maneuver that in there a little bit. I don't know if, does anyone else do stuff like this when you're making a mold that could be so easily tipped over and put it in something, or do you just leave it sitting on your table and just stay away from it? So yeah, I think the most interesting part of this is going to be taking it out. And I always like pouring slowly because I feel, right or wrong, I just feel like it helps to get the resin in everywhere it needs to go instead of just force filling it, because I can see little spots. So at the back here, because I was doing it slowly, you could just sort of slowly seeing it fill things in, which I just think that's a really good thing. And then we'll put this off to the side. Now I also have 2 small little birds that we're going to make, because we have, I got about 60 mils left, so that took about 40. Remind me to write down that it took about 40. I'd probably make 50 just because. All right, so we're going to put her off to the side, or we'll just say we're going to put our angel off to the side, because it could be a male angel, right? I'm going to put some of my resin in here so I have more control over pouring, and I think I want this one. I can't remember what sizes any of these are, and I didn't check them before I 6, 7. I don't know. So we'll just pour some in, and then we'll pour it in, and maybe we'll make 2 of them. Don't drop it. Okay, so hopefully that's in check. So I'm just going to pour it from here and at the top here, because as I say, this is where we've got more of a opening. I'm going to slow my pouring down. I'm going a little too fast here. Okay, I'm going to pour on this side now. Now we can open it up a little bit if we want to. It's almost too bad they don't give you something that can help hold it. I mean, the number of ways I've tried to hold the beyond, it just, yeah. Now it would be kind of cool if I was making the piece that go in it in a different color or whatnot, and maybe we can add something to this gold. I just want to make sure I get my birds made in the gold color. Seeing that now, I know some people have, and I'm just trying to find, maybe this will work. Right, just trying to ply them apart. That's not going to work, that's not thick enough, but trying to ply things apart just to get the resin to move. And hopefully you can see, and I'm just, okay, let me, So I'm just trying to pull it apart at the side here to get the resin to flow down. And I need to put a little bit more because I'm not covering the piece at the top here. And I know some people would suggest maybe using a pipette. Okay, I'm going to let that sit and sort of settle itself out a bit. And you can pull them from side to side. That helps sometimes too, to, get it sort of moved around a little bit. And I just want to make sure that we've got it covered. I mean, you can always do some fix-ups with, I'm going to do that after a moment. We'll do this next one because like I say, I'm not sure which is going to fit my finger. Okay, let's just pour it around and see what happens. Yeah, that's not working very well, is it? My other way was better. Yeah, I've kind of made a mess of this now, haven't I? And potentially, oops. Yeah, that wasn't the way to do it. Start, don't do this. Start at the top. And let it move around, because I can see an air bubble in there as well. So don't do what I just did. There, it went away. I'm trying to do this too fast, so you don't want to do that. I'll just slowly let this work its way around, eh? And I think the good thing that maybe on the second one is that it's sort of working its way of getting the resin around, but yeah, I didn't do that right, so I wouldn't recommend that. Rushing the process isn't always the best thing. Okay, let's see if it's gonna try and stop that now. Okay. Try and get those two to meet up, and there they have. Yeah. As I say, these can be challenging, that's for sure. Definitely need a little bit more in that one. Okay, maybe we'll see if we can do it this way instead. Not sure if this is going to work very well, but that's set down in there, eh? Okay, I think we probably are good on these. All right, we'll let those sit and settle. I think we're okay. All right. And that settle into place. So put that over there. I want to bring this over here. Getting all kinds of stuff out of the way. And maybe what we can do is just, I'll pull it from both ends now. And hopefully it's set in there well enough. Okay, now we'll place this, we'll just put these up against here, so at least it's got something stable to be up against. And we're going to do this one. And again, these holes aren't very big, so you kind of have to watch, because I know I've gotten air pockets at the top. So we can get it just flowing just right. One of those patience kind of thing. And we'll have to make sure too that we don't end up with any air pockets on the inside. Again, UV resin will help you fix that. but like we all know, we want to make it as best we can. When you just pour it really fast and have it do what you want to do, but I don't recommend that with these pieces at all. Okay, now I have an air bubble on the far side. So we'll see if we can't just etch that out. I want to prod it out, but I want to do this carefully. Here, maybe if we pull this like we did that. And we have the one. No, it's still there. Did I get it, or did I push it down further? Hard to tell. I'm just lifting it up so I can have a look at it. Oh, I think I got it. It just looks like I didn't. Okay. It's right there. Okay, put a little bit more resin in that. Okay. Put a little bit, top this up. That flow in there. All right, and then we'll do this round one here. Maybe if we pour it up higher. See which method is better. As long as it pushes it down, we could be okay. Yeah, see, now I've got yeah. Okay, so that's not working the best. A pipette might work well. If you can get it like right into it and then very carefully push your resin in. So we'll just go off to the side like we did with the other one. That seemed to work well. I think I'm going to do the same thing again, aren't I? Yeah, doing the same thing. Okay, so my idea of starting it up high wasn't a good one either. You know, you love this? You get to see someone do something and go, okay, don't do this. Yeah, definitely don't want to do that because it's not. Yeah, I'm concerned I'm going to have some air bubbles in that because of the way I've done it. I almost wonder, and I'm not sure how well this is going to work if I spray it. This may or may not have been a good idea. So let me clean this up. And see, I don't want to spend too much time trying to do this because I got to get the rest of that poured into something. Okay, I'm just going to put it down like that. Tip right into it. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. Okay, that's not working out really well, is it? Okay, well, while that's thinking about it, I'm going to pour the two birds. Because I want to get them poured. And then we'll come back to doing those. Set that one aside just for a moment, and I'll come back to it. I don't know how my circle's doing here. I really don't think yeah, it's only about half full. I'm gonna have to figure something out for that. May have to go off camera and do it so that you don't have to sit and watch me. Yeah, I think I have an air bubble on the nose of this one, so I'm gonna stop for a second. Hard to tell. Hopefully I don't. Okay, I'm going to trust that I don't. This one up a little bit more. That should be good on both of these guys, so we'll put them off to the side very carefully. We are going to do another one of these. Let me just get this back in here. There's no point in it sitting in there. I think part of the problem is it's starting to set up a little bit, which isn't helping my cause any. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause. I'm going to go get a pipette, and then I'm going to work on it and let you know if that goes any smoother for me. And I also have to get another mold because I have too much resin left over. So I'll work on getting another one of these filled up, and then we will come back when it's time to take all this stuff out of the molds. We've made it to the next day, and I definitely had we know that, right? Natalie either makes way too much resin or whatnot, or doesn't make enough. So at least we know what, you're getting yourself into when you watch my videos some days. Anywho, where are we going to start? I did make up some more pieces. This mold here, so I got this off of Temu, just to let you know. And I obviously wasn't really paying attention to the size of it when I bought it, because it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And the real joke on all of this is I bought 2 of these just because I wanted to be able to make duplicates of things, and I seriously didn't need to buy 2. But they were a good price, so it's not a big deal. And I'm sure, just like everything else I have, I will find uses. Now, what's interesting about this mold is the fact that it's supposed to sort of be a clock. The base here is to be a clock, and we've got the hands for the various sizes, so big and then medium and then small. And I guess what the plan is, they do have a little, so you can probably see it more so. There's a hole here that, this is supposed to sit on top of, so you can set, quote, the time on it if you want. Anyway, I had lots of resin left over, and I got air bubbles in this, but that's okay. My resin seriously was setting up, and if we look at my container here, I get this cleaned out. But thankfully it's silicone, and I didn't even bother. I thought, there's no way I'm going to clean this out. It was starting to harden up, and I went, just leave it. You'll get it out later. The other thing that went, south, and I had commented I needed to go offline, were these pieces here, okay? So I'm like, it went south. But I did find, I have to admit, that using, and you're going to want something that's got a very narrow spout to it, like these ones do, to pour in. And you have to make sure, just to let you know, that you need to make sure there's an air hole as such. So when you're pouring into these, just start pouring into a corner, because we need to let the air out. When I was using the pipette, I'd put it right inside, and of course there was no way air could escape, and then it didn't turn out. So I did manage to get this done. I'm not sure if it's got any air bubbles in it, and then this one, and I have to clean up this other one because it got messy. Anywho, that's sort of my dilemma. I did make a couple of these, and I had done this in one of my previous videos. I had some left over of it. So let's just start taking things apart. We will get to the angel, which was sort of to be the piece of this. And again, as I say, my resin was starting to get hard. It was getting like toffee. That's the best way I can describe it. So I really kind of want to have my gloves on. All right. And when I got down to the bottom of my container, there were flecks of the mica powder, which you may be able to see better in this picture. I'm not sure if it'll show up, but yeah. So anywho, and I had felt I had mixed it up rather well, and I'm just going to take this piece out of here. I thought of covering it Anyway, let's just get it out and I'll do something with it. I'm playing around some more with the ceramic resin to see different ways I can put designs and different things on top of it. But I'm in my play stage right now. All right, let's go to this guy, because this is really what the piece was all about, was our angel, and see how well we can hopefully get it out. That would be nice. Now, I mean, this is a fairly flexible mold. It's not terribly flexible, but it is somewhat. And I think what we're going to have to do is maybe roll it down to get it out, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. Yeah, I think rolling you is going to be the best bet. Don't you just love some of these molds? You get them and think, yeah, this is a brilliant idea. It reminds me of a couple of the other planter molds that I picked up last year, and I went, what the hey? Trying to get them out. And I know somebody's probably saying you could put some whatchamacallit in here, but I don't want to. I don't know if I can. I want to be really careful because it would be too easy. Like the wings are what are going to be the challenge, I think, on this. So let me just keep working. I can't even imagine. I guess wax, if you put a wax candle in this, which is probably what it's meant for, more so than anything else, that you have the wax, right, that you can work against or with. Good thing I don't have my really long nails anymore either. Okay, I think we're going to have to put some alcohol down inside of this somehow. See if that helps me. Get it. And another reason I don't like doing the alcohol is because then it gets slick. But I guess if it helps, then that's what really matters here. And I guess the other thing I worry about is my nails. Come on, you. I know you'll come out. I just got to get you loosened, right? Okay, come on. Okay, there we go. It's coming. And she's out. And she's out. I think it looks like we did pretty good on this. Just put that upside down somewhere. Right. All right. So the wings I have had a little bit of an issue with. But there's our angel. So if you don't mind struggling with getting it out, and yes, the alcohol did help in this. I do have some air bubbles, but there is quite a bit of detail on, the top quarter to half of this. And I just thought it would look really cool if it was all in gold. Now it's not very heavy, and that's obviously because there's not a lot of resin in this. So this might be something interesting to one. Okay, so I'm thinking Christmas right now, but I know angels, as I said earlier, you can use those year round. But you could do a grouping of these and have them sitting on your table at Christmas time. So if we did even a circle of 6 of them and put a candle in the center and just had that candle sort of maybe diffusing through the angels. I mean, I don't think this is a really solid gold that I've got here, but having a small candle in the circle of maybe 6 or 8 of them would be kind of cool. If you were having company over, you could put them one at each person's place and allow them to take it home at the end of the evening. I'm almost thinking you could hang it on a tree if you wanted to. That would work. I think of the cemetery where my brother is buried. My parents, when he passed away, they bought and got that they put on his So you'd have the base and the angel was sitting on top of it. Unfortunately, it's gone now. Someone took it. But you could do something, you know, small like this. And so here's an idea. If we had put, say, a straw or a piece of silicone in the center of this and then poured it, we could put something in the center of this so this could sit out in a garden somewhere. So if you had a pet that had passed away, you could, and I'm only saying this for myself because one of my dogs is buried underneath one of our blue spruce trees. And if you wanted, you could put something like this at the location where your pet is buried, or just have them out in your garden. You know, somewhere that isn't going to get direct sunlight, but you could put them out in the garden, or even do that in the wintertime. I get snow, obviously, where I live in Ontario, and you could put these outside in the wintertime. And if you had glow in the dark, then you could do that. But anyways, those are just some suggestions for this angel. I think it's really pretty. I didn't think it was going to be quite so small, obviously. Didn't I do well? We have this is an extra large, and then I have this, which is small, but that's okay. And I guess too, if you wanted to, I don't know how you would attach it just because it's not flat at the back. I made the memorial box that my mom's ashes went into, and I'm, you know, sort of imagining if we had it sitting on the top of the box. I put an angel, a flat angel on her box on the top of it. But you could also, I mean, see about doing that. I'm just not 100% sure how I would attach it, but that would be pretty. Or at the side, one of the sides or the ends of the box. So anyway, there's some ideas about our pretty little angel, and it is pretty. I do like that. It's just a matter of sort of seeing if I make another one, how to best not to end up with some of the air bubbles I have, but she is very pretty. All right, next, let's go on to these rings. So these pieces shouldn't be too challenging to get out, but don't hold me to that. So there's one, and we'll have a look at it, and I'll clean up the other ones later. And of course, when I was starting to do this one, I was, getting things. Oh, resin was just getting too hard, too sticky. All right, so we have this shape. I'm not gonna, it's very slick. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do this a different way, which will make it easier for you to see. And I would definitely, oh, sugar plum fairies. Yeah, I do have a hole in that one. I don't think I got these fully covered. That one's okay, I think. I have a hole in that one. I didn't, so I'll show you this way. Maybe that'll be better. I have a hole here at the side. That doesn't matter. We'll still work with it. I would definitely give these things, you know, 72 hours plus to get really set up, because these will be still a little soft. But having said that, are they both a little, this is the better one. All right, let's just put this on here like this. All right, so all you have to do with these and these little pieces is, and I need to trim that one up a bit, but they'll sit in like that. All right, so that's why I bought this, because I thought this was really cool, that I could make some rings and then have the odd pieces. Now, you can, I did this all in gold, obviously, because I didn't have any other colors. However, you could use UV resin and put other things in it. And I kind of think I may or may not have used UV resin. I can't remember what I made those out of, but yeah, there you have it. So let's put the other piece in. Go on in. And put it that way. There we go. All right, so there's the other. And these are still soft. They need to sit for a little bit. Anyway, there you have it. Okay. I think it's kind of cool. Right? So you can, like, color galore, right? Okay, Get that off and I'll let that sit and set up. Now the other thing I'll point out is, did I do a pretty good job not having, I do have a bit of a lip over on this side. I can feel it. So I could fill that in a little bit more, and I'm misshaping that now. I need to leave it alone. So these are still soft. So I would highly recommend, if you have to do any work to them, wait until they're completely set up, so that when you're working with them, you're not squishing them like I was. Yeah, you don't want to do that. And I know you know that, so just get that. Now we'll do our birds next. See, this is the fun part when you have, and you've made up way too much resin, is you get to do more things to show people. Not really my intent, but it's just the way it turned out. And these birds are, I think I realized I had to take the birds out from the face first. And I made a blue, not a blue one, a purple one and a green one using the Let's Resin, but I had put the mica powder on the inside. And they turned out really nicely. And I used my polyurethane because I wanted, it needed to be used up. Get over. All right. And I won't bother taking the second one out. I'll do that on my own time, so we can see. Yeah. Alrighty. So there's one of our birds. All right. That turned out pretty cool. It's got a really pretty color to it. Like, these things are intense, which is really nice. So if you're wanting to make a statement on a piece, for sure. And I just think those are somewhat of air bubbles in it. It might be mica powder that's sitting on the top. I'm not sure if you can see or not. But I think I've got that really, I mean, aside from the fact that I have some spots in my one piece, it did mix in really well. All right, now to get our, and I'm just going to say straight off the bat, there are probably going to be air bubbles in this because, again, the stuff was setting up. And I have some clay, so I kind of want to play with clay on this channel and see what we can do with that. Make some interesting pieces. And again, I'm in the play process with that too, so hopefully in the next little while we can do some stuff with clay and see how we can intermingle it with resin. All right, so I knew I was going to have some issues. Yeah, so it's not, I've got a great big air bubble over that, but here is this. And I'm sure this is meant to be done with clay. And if you did it with the mixed mold or a ceramic resin of some sort, again, you're going to want to make sure that you get it in, because we've got some really detailed spots on this that you're going to want to make sure, I mean, and the numbering too, that you get, oops, there goes my angel, that you get, you know, in the circles in here. So I would recommend, I mean, if we were doing this, either use a clay or to use, and just be very slow in pouring it in, and just make this the only piece you're going to make. I'm learning that. I'm learning. Alrighty. So we have our violin clock, and I don't have, so my centerpiece on that did not pop in it. Yeah. But there we have it. Not bad, eh? Not bad. And I thought these were a lot smaller, and apparently I was way off base on that, but that's okay. Right. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know below in the comments what you think of any of the pieces I've made. Again, with the rings, just a tip to make sure that they are completely set and hardened before you do anything else to them. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave them for 3 or 4 days just so they can set up really well before I start handling them. And I might even make some different pieces to go on the top of those. And then obviously the bird, but the angel was meant to be the centerpiece of this. And there it is. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you have this huge violin clock piece and if you've done anything else in it besides resin. And that's all I've got for you for today. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Yeah, have a great day being creative and doing whatever it is you're up to. And I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye for now.